Hey, Jeff here from New Horizons. I've been working a lot with the Mage Master and Hallie a little bit to try to get us a list together that is updated for Mist and utilizing the new card a little bit, as well as just updating against what we need for the change of the meta. So this list will be in the description. It's probably about 99% there. There might be some changes that we make before Nats, but for the most part, it's good. The changes that we did is we took out one pitfall trap and one boulder trap just to kind of keep things a little more consistent and have a little bit more leverage against certain matchups. We took out a death touch for Murky and then one laces because since we have these two inertia traps and 5 instances still of arsenal disruption, this ended up being the weakest card, and having this one of release attention was way too good. We settled on the arrows being 3 Morseless, 2 Sleep Dart, and 1 Infecting between like the ones that kind of could shift around a bunch. And the point of the point the tip Murky play is that for games that we go really long, you're able to keep it blue, and usually you're running Dreadbore in those matchups. And you can third Murky up for 7 off of the Dreadbore, and then play point the tip, and a 3-card hand makes it 11 dominate on hit, get a trap. And you can block with them, send them early or something if you can get value, and still remembrance them back. Also, point the tip kind of works with some of our other errors that we have. So if we need to play it and it just comes up, it's a little bit of extra value, worst case scenario. So yeah, just want to make sure you guys were familiar with it before we start the video. And we're going to try to do one of each of the heroes at least. All right, we're getting started with a new. So the button, you just run everything. They're assassin, and you try to run perch grapplers because you want the flexibility to sometimes just block a random instance of, say, a surgical or something of that nature. So it's pleasant to have. They're running black tech, flick knives. They're not running the reaction one, which is actually amazing. So if they attack with this, we're actually going to arsenal the Seek and Destroy, because if we have to lose it, it's the least one that we care about, because we want to make sure to keep a bit of tempo by getting an arsenal if we can, if we need to play the whole hand. Off the probably. But we're just going to play it on this, prevents this, deals the damage. Oh boy. Okay, we're going to get stonks value here. Most likely. Out there, if we have to block, it's going to suck, but, well, more likely they have a leave no witness or something of that nature. So they probably didn't expect this to happen. Yeah, they're just going to do that. It's unfortunate. I didn't expect that. We get rid of that. Or that. Equals raw arrow. That's fine. So they're probably going to send dagger for 0 and then pass an arsenal. This is unfortunate, but it means we don't have to worry about this that much until late game. If we break this hand, it's going to suck a lot. Okay, we're mostly fine. Okay. That. I could have sequenced it a little bit differently, but in all reality, it doesn't matter too much. That's funny. I still go to ponder. This is a fat falcon wing. This is for 12. And you're probably losing your arsenal. I guess you have a D-React in arsenal. A blue stealth card. Maybe D-React in hand. And then a red. They have leave no witness, D-React, and I don't know what the other card is. They didn't block. Might be a Transcend card. Never mattered. I think we're just gonna play. Okay, so I was right about a blue stealth card. That's adorable. So on one end, playing these are rough just because if you put them in grave, they can banish them. But at the same time, we don't want them to banish them off of effects. Oh, so they don't have a Transcend card. Oh, they're trying to bamboozle me. I see. So it's likely dagger. This is not a trap, so I'm not sure. They have. Oh yeah, that one. That's actually really good because now they have no cards in arsenal. Pick 5 for a codex. Except for that card. Oh, it's a CNC. Sure. That's exactly what I was saying. They do have instances of that, but now that's gone. They don't have that, so that's not terrible. I don't think they can block it. I'm gonna come in for 11 instead and make it even more difficult. Because 9, assuming one card doesn't block either because of instant or D-React. Block 9 and then 10. But if we make it 11, then they have to give us this. Oh, we love to see it. Love to see this card. Love to see this card out. These are all just nice to see gone. Still too early to play that card, so we'll just use it as a resource for now. The effect doesn't matter, so we're just getting the +1. You're just trying to outvalue them. For the most part, if they send like a random instance of like, hey, I'm gonna banish a card from your deck, you don't really care because there's literally 3 cards they can play from your banish. One of those 3 cards is worthless because we don't have any form of reaction. So it's just Buzzsaw and collapsing. But even then, like for the most part, you can kind of play around collapsing yourself. Because it's like, so playing around that card is basically the equivalent of playing around a flashback. You can play around it pretty easily based off of like, you would love to see these cards. Well, these cards specifically. It's just too much damage and yeah. Ooh. We don't like to see this. This is annoying. Hmm. So it's fine. We like to eat up armor. We do the trench play just to conserve a card in deck. I don't like giving them the card because it sucks, but at the same time, like there's not really much you can do because that was the only way that you can play the hand. And oh, we like to see that card gone, and he just got a CNC, which it's not that big a deal. This translates to 6, so that's nice. That's only gonna get 5 value. We can trench that, it's not a big deal. Yeah. We'll take 5. We basically traded 1 life for 5 life, which is fine because the lower they get, then the easier it becomes. This is one of those weird ones. So I'm gonna do this. So a lot of people would say to hide info as long as you can't just send Ramble first. The only reason why I'm doing it this way is because he has already shown he runs that all he got. If I hit a blue off a Rabble, I don't want him to be able to draw by breaking the chain. It's fine now, and obviously it's a low percent chance, but I don't want him to have options. Sure. And I want to save this because I think this is threatening enough. And they're probably going to either give us 3 cards or 2 cards in armor. And if they give us 2 cards in armor, we're just golden. Perfect. Sometimes you have to just kind of play a little bit, not back and forth. That's not the thing I'm looking for. Pardon? Oh, that's right. It didn't hit. Sometimes you have to just play through turn cycles. So because this is likely to have trap, or not trap, a D-react in it, the Remorseless is way better than sending Drill Shot. We're likely to get an Arsenal. Even if we don't, they have to give us full hand. And all these scenarios are perfectly fine. Right there, I could have Arsenaled and then Trench, so that way I can hide a little bit of info, but... Oh, okay, so this was coming in for 11. Yep, they have the... There, they can only block 9. They take 2. They were already at, like, 19. Take 2. This goes to Arsenal. We draw up. Ditch Sleep Dart, put Sleep Dart. Trench, activate Bow, put Sleep Dart, play Lace, Arsenal, Trench, play C, or play a Codex, grab Bolt and Shot, end a bunch, Arsenal, or... Yeah, they were dead. There was no way that they could actually win this game at this spot because they just don't have the damage, and they're burning so many of their good cards They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, effectively 6, 7, 8, 8 no blocks in hand left in deck, and quite a few 2 blocks, and just like after a certain point, they just don't have enough disruption. Yeah, they have to have 2 cards to hold this, and then like I can dodge this and just take 4 and lose a card, and they're losing in every metric possible. So it sucks that they conceded so they didn't get to see the full end game, but this is pretty much how the match goes. Sometimes if they have a little bit more of a disruptive list, or they are able to get off with throwing one of these or these, it becomes weird to block. So let's say, let's just go through an example real quick and say they sent this. They have 2 cards in hand. You can pretty much assume it's a hiss, and they have a blue. And let's just say they have 3 cards total. So they play this, and if they have a blue, they might just send Beckoning at you and just try to maximize that. But they might just try to see if they can bait you. But it depends on the player. I think it's better to send the dagger. So let's assume send dagger. It's a miss, or they send Spider's Bite. Then they hiss. So 4. So that's going to be 8. And let's assume that the hand we have is this hand that we were going to get. And then we have an arsenal for a trench target. So honestly, like you kind of have to block that out. So if they send that and you know it's probably coming for 8, you don't have any reactions in this case. You just give sleep dart, perch, and just say, all right, you got value. That's great. And then you just trench, play lace, probably play remorseless off the codex. So that should be more or less the info. You can also play around with your traps. You're okay giving, like if they send a surgical and your hand is, let's say, 2 traps and a buff and arrow, and they send this, and that's just all they're sending. You're perfectly fine with just going, here's 6 and then send 7. Because this just has much more potential to screw you up. And a lot of times you have to think about if some cards are going to, no matter what, make you lose a card. So like if they just send a raw, like one of these raw, and you're like, okay, it will automatically, no matter what, with like no reactions, take a single card and potentially gain a life, and maybe give them an arsenal in this case. I would rather control what they take, which it doesn't even get banished, off of a trap, potentially ping them depending on the card, than run the risk of losing a power card or say one of my big traps that they can just take up from me. So, like, take away from me. So make sure you just play that weird value game. It's a lot of decision making. This matchup is very free, but you can lose it if you do not pay attention to what's going on. And if you do not, you're playing this like you play against Dory, in the sense of you're doing math all the time and checking what's going on to make sure that they don't have certain things. So you're always looking for those reactions. You're looking for what can they have? What can their damage potential be? How much I care about this on hit? Can I backswing better? It's Dory math. All right, we got a Zen. So we have a special button for them. Just like normal ninja, you're running perch, you're running death dealer, because you're not really assuming that they're going to really play any traps or any DRX. You're running a tight 60 because just like Azalea, you need to hit your power cards. So you do not want them to have any way to filter their hand. There is a list going around from We Make Best that is apparently doing some numbers. So you have to play as if that's the deck that people are going to be running. It's just a bunch of like bonds and descending gust waves. And it just comes in for so much damage. Yep, this is probably that list. If you don't play that way, then you're just going to, or if you don't play assuming that that's the list, you're just going to lose that list. We tried 66, which is basically what we normally play in a Ninja. Did not work well. We tried 62, worked a little bit better, and we tried a little bit less, and it worked out perfect. These inertia traps help make it to where they don't get to set up. And Remorseless, Sleep Dart are super essential in the matchup because they like force your opponent into a certain turn cycle. Yep, this is 100% that list. Okay, so we've dealt 2 damage to them. And we deny them Arsenal. And more so efficiency on this too. We're just going to take 4 because blocking with a card basically says that we miss out on 4 damage. So it's blocking 3 on, so 3 value on defense as opposed to 4 value on offense. Because once they get the blocking phase, it's like playing against KO. You gotta try to maintain life parity or advantage as much as humanly possible. Deny them as much setup as possible through on hits. And then eventually you get to the point where they are blocking worse than you do. And then you start taking the game from there. So that's just, you just got to get through that. Plus they have a lot of armor because of course they do. Because LSS decided that Ninja needs the ability to block 7 off of just equipment. Okay, that's good. So he cannot set up next turn. And Remorseless, because they go so wide, is huge. So it's pretty much a must block. If they don't block it, I'm going to take some damage. Because he got hit by that, he literally has to full send or commit to block and send a middle level attack. So like if he just sends a blue and then plays the instant, then that's probably fine. So he's taking 2, which means he has probably a blue. He's going to attack with Tiger. Oh, no, this is incorrect, my guy. Took 1 damage for that. 5th. Okay, that's probably more correct, actually. Now, for anyone that's playing Zen and wants to know how to play against Riptide, let me go ahead and throw 1 bit of info into it for you immediately. If you have an inertia, do not activate Zen. And try to, like, arsenal a Crouching Tiger. I think this is strictly incorrect because you're in a situation right now where you're taking 1 damage for a most likely subpar turn. Okay, so they're sending a little bit of damage, but they're taking a lot of damage in response to. So our turn, we're blocking with 2 cards. We're definitely blocking with this. Sending bonds, so we can probably wait. I'm just probably gonna go with Fluster Fist. Question is, do we want an arsenal or disruption? Disruption. We'll take 1. Just like KO, you're trying to maintain as much life parity as you can, not really get super pushed. Yeah, I figured. So this deck doesn't naturally have too many on hits. They have like Tiger Swipe sometimes. So you're better off. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking about Arsenal when I got Death Dealer. Yeah, it's just better. So we're taking. Where's the Winston? They don't have an Arsenal. They probably had a red or something and they couldn't attack with Tiger. That's pretty good. So this can get us some value off the next turn cycle. Unless they like have a bonkers turn, which because of sleep dart they're not going to this time around. You're really just looking to try to get like a total of say 6 value or something out of it. Go to the sand. Smash is never going to hard fatigue. Blocking this sometimes just saves damage off of the Gust Wave. Like if he has it, then if he has it now, he has to pitch for it instead of if that hit. He would still have to pitch 1, but then he would get to send it for an extra 2. Which I guess in hindsight isn't too bad since we have Buzzsaw Trap, but it's like I would rather save it if I can. The likelihood is that we sit on this and we just send 7. Yeah. See. Hmm. We'll block. We don't know what he has afterwards. Oh, yes. Still 2. Whatever, we'll take 2. Not a big deal. And then he's arsenaling. Yeah, so this is a correct call. He's going to have the power turn. Our turn cycle just was not particularly fantastic, so sending 7 and keeping this is just so good. I threw away the drill shot just so that we had one in grave for codex targets, but also they tend to block. So he's gonna block with this turn most likely. And like hitting 1 value off of armor is okay, but it's just nice to have the option sometimes. But most likely you're just gonna probably hit this in this matchup. Since you're running a tight 60, like hitting that sometimes is better. It depends on how the match is going. I have like an extra card left in deck. He might just block with this and then go to 15 and just call it a day. So he has. If this is the We Make Best list, he should have 1 Tiger Swipe left. Yes. 700 wins left. 2. Yeah. Plenty of these left. 8 of each. Yep. Okay, if he doesn't have a Crouching Tiger card that he used, then he might just not block with this and just take 5. Yeah. Okay, so he doesn't have anything he's going to use a Crouching Tiger for, most likely, so. We're going to try to block 6, 9 here. And try to send this if we can. If absolutely 100% possible to do, I'd like to keep 3 cards. If it doesn't cost me much. Odds are, because he has a 6-card hand and 1 being a chi, basically just translates to an extra 2 cards. It's pretty likely that we're gonna have to block a lot. We might actually have to full block here, to be honest. Depends on the hand. It's not worth going down super low if they pop one of these, usually this card, because They're trying to pop off. So you can buy your turn cycles. You're looking for a collapsing trap primarily, and buzzsaw trap. Pardon? Oh, he has another card in hand that transforms. Let's hope it's not Sacred Art. That'd be unfortunate. It's unlikely because he would have blocked with this. You take one here. There's no reason to block it. Yeah, that's what I figured. 15, it's a chi. It's a resource. Ooh. He cannot Zen right now. Let's see if he knows that. Still cannot Zen. What is he gonna grab? 100 wins. Red 100 wins, okay. So we're gonna take damage this turn no matter what. It's a very high chance because he banished this card. What? Oh, is that how that works? I actually didn't know that. So if you have 3 floating, okay. Because it's a separate resource. Gotcha. Okay, interesting. We have learned today. I was the one that didn't know. Okay, so that's for 2. Take 2. Do these 2. Because he grabbed this, it's pretty likely that he has another gust wave. So this is... That's not a tiger. Jeez, we don't know what this is. So at this point, we're going to block because it's getting to the end. We're getting 3 value instead of blocking like a 2. Okay, so he does have bonds. Figured. Yeah, he's going to grab 100 wins. Yeah. The yellow one? Oh, he has one in hand. That's unfortunate. Okay, we're taking the 2 on this one. Ugh. There's no way he doesn't have it. We're going to try to do this to Gunnars. If he doesn't have it, I am going to lose my mind. Insane if he doesn't have it. Alright. Cool. So, like I said, we get 6 value off this. We get a ping for 1, strip the 2 value, and then get the 3 blocks. So we get 6. Exactly what we wanted. Cool. So now his power turns are diminished in the future, way more than they were before, and we still have full block left. Ooh. I think if you have a 2 block in hand, it might just be better to block with Shuko on this. Either don't have a 2 block in hand, or those cards do not block. Definitely doesn't have a card that combos a tiger. Probably a blue and a card that transforms, if I were to guess. Alright. It sucks to effectively only get 2 value out of this, but like we want to ping him down, like I said, get his life down to a point where he has to block as much as possible. And yeah. So this is slightly risky. I don't think he runs it. I don't think he has it in hand. But if he has a drop in the ocean, then our entire turn is turned off. Okay, no, he does not. Okay. As a reminder, people massively overvalue Bolton Shot and think it actually is worth more value than it really is. This is why we're in Death Dealer here. So now he has to full block this. So can't block with. Oh no. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's big. That might loosen the game on the spot. Huh? How did? Interesting. Pretty good. So everything in my being is, well, okay. Depending on how he blocks, we might just pitch the quiver here just to kind of reset the stack. It sucks to do it sometimes because you really want this card, but at the same time, like, okay, so he full blocks, so there's no reason to, so we can just arsenal it and use it as a resource. If he sends something from arsenal, then we can just punish him. Okay. This is another one of those instances of sucks, but we put him to 4, which makes blocking way harder. Bench, so he doesn't know that that was collapsing. We make him think it's an arrow, which it is, but one floating, so we'll probably just grab Remorseless. The reason why Remorseless is probably like strictly better here is because it gives them less options to actually block. Because, see, right here, this is a prime example. He took 3, and he has a no block in hand. He cannot play it because he loses the game on the spot because of Remorseless. But if we play the other card, he can still play it in clear. Right, this hand is absolutely gas. He cannot full block it, so yep. So then the rest of the turn is Ravenous, Drill Shot. Ravenous would be yep. This match is never going to fatigue, and even if it does, you technically win because of quiver and just your damage density. Because after a certain point, it's just cheese, and they don't really do anything. He didn't see any of his Art Wars, which sucks. Yeah. But did he have Drop in the Notion? He did not. Okay, yeah. So Drop in the Notion is like probably the only card that like kind of scares you sometimes because when you have to make plays like that, it can just blow you out. Most Zens I don't think play it. Some mini news play it. I don't know about Enigma. But yeah, that's how you play this matchup. Thankfully, he actually like went to the full length of the game. I appreciate that. All right, so hopefully we can actually get this Enigma game in now because This is about the third attempt. Right. Yeah, we tried to jump on, and then we just got some weird error and couldn't do anything. And then some other stuff, like we face a reality refactor one. I was like, that's not normal. But we don't load in perch because we don't really need it, and snaps is usually better. We load up 66 because we try not to run anything that isn't good. But a lot of things are, so we try to keep those if possible. So we front load. To prevent all of it. Kind of annoying, actually. All right, we'll just send 9, and then we'll arsenal the buzzsaw. It sucks because of this, but we'll just waste it. It's literally worse to send something after this than to just. There's an option to send a red first and snap it, then pop, and then just like send this after. But I think that's a waste of snaps. Okay, from Arsenal, cool. So you're going to prevent 3, take 2. I should have done that. But that's hindsight 2020. This sucks because we don't have our traps. Pitch play awarded number of counters. Okay. This is a 4 power currently. So make sure this does in fact trigger. Yeah, it does in fact trigger. Okay. So it sucks to lose value on Buzzsaw, but we need a ping. Wait, what? Why did I go to 0? I'm confused. That shouldn't work that way. This is a tough one. Do we send this for 5? There's 2-card block. Send this for 6. We have a trap trigger no matter what, so we're pretty safe. They take this. They lose it anyways. Sorry. I have to walk for anyway. This is better whenever you want to clear a whole board instead of just someone forgot about Dreadbore. Or they didn't care. Mall. block. No formal ward here. Oh, yeah, no, they're just gonna block. Okay, fair enough. We pitfall this? Or did we just save it? I think we save it in deck. Because we're more likely to trigger this. Yes. Trench it. No, this is better. Do more damage this way. Just to let Enigmas know, Shimmers of Silver, while annoying for Riptide in general, strictly not the best card in the world to play against us because it allows more of our traps to trigger. That being said, one of mine are gone, but it's a double-edged sword. Like on one end it helps you, but on the other end it does nothing. Taking 6. All right, so this taking 2. So what this does is it basically disables them from having a either they have to pitch card, which means they come off an arsenal, which is fine, or they have to not set up an actual ward card, or they just lose it. Okay. Enigma. Cameras. Pitch. Let me. Wish I could see what it is, but I think we're gonna finally use this. I thought about sending Remorseless, but I want to have more breakpoints, so I'm gonna do this. Send this Falcon Wing first at him for 4. So now this is a breakpoint, so they potentially lose Tide Maul. And then we'll Rabble, which hopefully is another breakpoint, and then this is another breakpoint, and then we'll Arsenal. Perfect. Come on. 4, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, let's go. It's also a pretty good draw. And on hit, lose 1. Taking it. So 21. Have no board, so they probably have a Transcend card. Oh, they have CNC. Let's see. How much we get? CNC. We could block with them, but I'd rather play it. I think we just take 6 and trench. I really want to get this in the grave and send it, but at the same time, I want just max value on my arrows. So I'm going to do something that's a little bit odd. Do that. I considered popping snaps here. I'm still considering it to get an arsenal, but since we have Ponder most likely hitting, fine. Taking 2 damage, but I didn't think it was worth snaps on 2, so just gonna send 5, go again, and then 7. So send 12, which is a normal turn cycle. On hit, we do get a Ponder, which is an extra arsenal, which is an extra 3 value, and then if we hit, we get the equipment burn, so we can throw it onto Traverse or or Tunic. Probably Tunic. No, the reason why you do that is because you have a lot of 7s. So if you do that, you give them 2 block of 7 breakpoints. If you do this, you have to force them into basically all their armor into one thing. Okay. So we got 16 value out of that hand. Oh, I almost did what I said I wasn't going to do. Oops. That's right. What you got? Show me what you got. Nothing? Oh, that's a Transcend card. Ooh. Your hand doesn't block, or it's a D-React. Probably D-React. I kind of want to go like super wide this turn. I have a 1 cost in the grave. Yes, we have infecting. Okay, because we have infecting, we're just gonna do it this way. Okay. So we're gonna send drill shot, and we're gonna snaps it. We're gonna send bolt shot for 6. Then we're gonna codex, arsenal, trench. So we're not burning any cards. We're doing maximum damage. And we take in a 1, I guess. There's an argument to bullseyes, but I think better save for another turn cycle. If they just die, then they just die, whatever. Okay. People overvalue this card so much. That being said, this does in fact destroy this, so I think maybe it makes sense. But typically speaking, they do overvalue that card. Oh, you fucking kidding me? Okay, well, I'm not gonna try a 4th time. So, yeah. So let me show you what this is doing. Yeah, it's giving me this fetch error, and then I try to log in, and then it just gives me that error again. This has happened twice, and then I had to scrap that one, and it took me like 30 minutes to try to even get those. I'm not doing this again. He was at 13. We're about to send 6 plus 5 with a blood rot. There's no way that he was not full blocking it. He definitely lost that game. You guys get the general idea. I'll try to stream here in the next day or so whenever I have extra time, because it is pre-release coming up, and we'll try to do some more of these matchups on stream so that way people can ask questions. So, see you then.